Previously on Agora.
Do you wish to know how the circle works?
Yes.
This is a portal. It can get you to the Feywilds. All you need to do is use the right instrument, an ancient gong.
I'm gonna go looking for the gong at night.
Master, there's someone come through the door. Show them a seat. I'm in charge of inventory. The captain, is he alive?
Yeah, he told us to come here to get the gong for him.
Right, there you are. There's your thingy.
That's it. That
is it. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Why are there some hobgoblins emerging from the tunnel over there?
Quick, everybody get on the circle.
I'll collapse the bridge.
And then I'll put the gong in the middle and hit it.
In the very centre where there was this stone table appears to be a portal with pure colour and pure forest through
Let's
it.
go in.
Agora Podcast, an original roleplay using Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Player characters and Dungeon Master interact online using Roll20 and Skype. Dungeon Master and podcast editor John Paget. Player characters played by Dan, Ben, Finn, Terry, Rob, and Paul.
Unte's still there, yes. Probably against her best interest. And you're in a completely different place now, it seems. You're surrounded by a green canvas. Trees everywhere, a luscious green coming through the blue sky above.
Nice.
Nice.
I can't stop myself. I clap my hands in joy and jump up and down a little.
You should go exploring.
I'm going to immediately try to blend in.
Chameleon.
Do people want to try and do a spot, see if they can see him? And as soon as you get there, Hector perks up and he goes, aha. And he starts wandering off. He's in fact skipping. Wait, where are you going? And Pebble runs after him.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Uh-oh.
Shall we follow him?
Yeah.
Yeah, better follow him. Hey, wait up.
Okay.
Unless it's one of those things where John doesn't want us to follow them because they're not here.
I'll yell out, do you want us to follow you?
Come on.
Okay.
Says Pebble. He's getting away. As he skips further on. Where the hell are we?
I'll rugby tackle him.
He seems to be swept away on the wind. And before you know it, you see a huffing and puffing Pebble, who you can rugby tackle if you wish. But
athletics.
Yeah, do so.
No.
Compared to Pebble. Yeah, he doesn't seem to put up much resistance, and you do rugby tackle him with that. But Hector has gone into the distance.
I probably could keep up with him, but nah.
So what do you guys do? There's a brief wind just rustling in the background. You have almost tiny voices in the air. It's like the trees have eyes, and you do feel the place is very much alive. The sunlight, it feels like it's maybe dusk. The colours are beautiful.
Where we sort of materialise from the gong, is it like a little glade or something, or is there like a portal thing?
So what you have is very much the inner circles, but they're mossy. So they're almost like a mirror to what you saw before in the Underdog. But here,
I see. Okay,
but
cool.
here they're covered, and they're not made of stone at all. It just appears to be made of earth. And yeah, there appears to be a number of paths around going in different directions.
Before we go wandering anywhere, do we have any way of either permanently making this memorable to us that we can find our way back in case we happen to get separated or something like that? Anybody
Can
have
we
any...
put like a lamppost there like they do in Narnia?
Yeah, exactly. Or does anybody have any spotlight spell into the sky or...
You don't really need to find our way back.
Okay.
We should go exploring for something. Then why not just head in the direction that Hector is going?
Why don't we at least leave a piece of cloth on a branch on a tree limb or something?
Okay.
Sure, breadcrumb trail of some sort.
You think that's not going to be eaten?
Of some sort. Not literally breadcrumbs. Although, that's not a bad idea because we have a sandwich maker that makes infinite sandwiches. So, but then
At least sandwiches there. Yeah. No.
That could just be leading some sandwich-hungry monster directly to us.
Good. Isn't it?
Do we smell wine on the air in the direction that Hector ran?
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
You can try and follow. Again, that's a survival check.
I'll sniff for wine.
I'll assist.
Okay, even with your assist. Yes, the wine is probably the strongest thing about it because it appears that the print in the ground, you lose track of that. Wine pervades for about 50 or so meters, and then after that, you get to another fork in the path, which goes in 3 different directions, and you lose the smell. Beautiful glade, beautiful foliage, and on the ground, which is covered in leaves as well.
So there are leaves on the trees and leaves on the ground.
Yep, green leaves on the trees, and there are autumnal coloured leaves on the ground all around you. And you're quite acutely aware that you're making a fair amount of noise as you rustle around this forest.
You talked about a fork with 3 paths. Are the paths covered in leaves as well, or?
Yeah, the paths seem to be covered in leaves as well. As you look, there's a couple of what look to be coins on the left-hand fork.
Coins?
Like on the ground?
Yeah.
I'll examine them.
Okay, you examine the coins. Yeah, no, they appear to be gold coins.
I'll pick them up and follow their trail.
Okay. On the actual coin itself, on one side you see what looks like a very grand woman in profile, but with a cloak and a crown made of leaves.
Maybe this is somebody else's bread trail.
Mm-hmm.
So, our bread trail would have been eaten by monsters.
Maybe we're coin-hungry monsters following the bread trail.
I'd rather eat gold than bread.
You'd rather eat gold than bread?
Okay, never mind. Move on. Do the coins continue down the path?
It sounds like you're going a bit further down that path to look.
I was going to examine the other trails before we go, but so I'm not going all the way with them.
Okay.
I'll stay too, just to examine the trails, but I'm still going to pick up the coins.
Okay. So yeah, there were a couple of coins. It sounds like you picked up one of them and the other one was picked up by Pat. Yes, there were 2 trails. One, it appears to stretch out. You can see a far vantage point. This is a central one. It goes far into the distance, as far as you can see.
Is there a trail that's well used? I checked to see if with the survival check. Oh, there we go. 21.
Okay, there's heavy foot traffic on the right. Looks
On
like...
the one with the coins?
Nope, that's the one on the left. The one on the right appears to have hooves.
Ooh.
Yes, very naturally made path through the foliage, created over time.
There's some lovely tracks over here and a lovely path. What say we go this way?
There's gold on this one.
Is it real gold?
Does it look like real gold?
Yeah.
Bite it.
Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you?
You can do a straight intelligence check if you wish.
Oh.
As pure as you can tell.
There might be unicorn poo.
Aren't they supposed to poo rainbows or something?
Oh, Skittles, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I think the one thing we can agree on is to not pursue the middle path.
Yeah. I'm all for high traffic going the way with the majority. They obviously know where they're going. And this path looks like a proper path.
That makes sense to me. You have my vote.
How far do the coins go?
Seems like a trap.
I don't really want to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to go with Lace.
All right,
Yeah.
let's go with Lysa.
But could I quickly just run and grab like as many coins as I can?
Yeah. Let's see how far you go. So, 15 meters further along, it curves and goes a little downhill, and then you see another 2 coins.
I'm going to turn back.
Okay. Do you want to grab the coins?
Nope.
Alrighty.
Wait, were they gold coins?
They looked as golden as the others, sparkling in the sun.
Oh, okay, never mind. I'd only take them if they're like platinum coins.
Oh,
Then I don't really
alright.
care about.
No, definitely gold. So back up the hill you go.
I feel pretty confident going in front relatively quietly while you guys wrestle through the leaves.
Hey, we could roll checks for that.
Yeah. By all means, try and stealth down that path. Stealth with disadvantage, all of you, because of the number of leaves on the ground. Oh, Pat.
Well, I'm a musician.
Yeah. At one point, you trip up and your guitar just twangs into the breeze.
I'll stop when I hear that, and I'll put my chin on my chest.
The guy wearing metal armor is sneaking better than you.
I'm like a ninja.
So you come to a very circular little area. Can you draw this out, Finn? And if you want to put some props in the scene, you can do.
Are there sounds of birds and things?
You hear some fluttering.
Oh. Wait, Pat, is your ring tingling?
It's always tingling in a way. But is it?
No, it's not tingling. So you come to this area here, and Lice, make a perception check.
I perceive nothing.
Nothing.
And make a charisma saving throw.
Oh.
How are you feeling at the moment, Lice?
Confused, hungry, quite pleasant. The sound of fluttering, I'm just assuming it's normal birds.
Bless you. Yeah, you can assume so. I mean, by all means, make a nature check. This would be a proper sort of bird watcher's check. So if you had to really get it nailed. Yeah, that's probably a bird. In the middle here, the other two are fully grown trees. Quite beautiful. Branches going out into the centre. But this one over here, what appears on top of the trunk, I guess a smorgasbord, a mini banquet of sorts. Different vegetables laid out quite prettily.
Are they growing from the trunk or just left there?
No, they appear to be on the top of a large leaf, which seems to be used as part of the decoration.
I don't think we should touch that.
Does it look edible?
It looks like it's good vegetable. There's also a bag here, a bright red bag tied up.
Oh no, I don't think we should touch any of that.
Should we hide away and see if anyone comes for it? Give it half an hour or so?
Maybe. I can blend in pretty well, as long as nobody's falling into the leaves and stuff.
Hello? Anyone here? Hello? Someone's blood, surely.
You just hear some fluttering wings.
I'll call out in Elvish, say, "We are friendly."
You catch a little bit of a whisper, and then some more fluttering.
You fairies? Come on, Nomo. This is your neck of the woods.
Pat, can you make a charisma check? Saving throw, sorry.
17.
Nice. And how are you feeling, Pat?
I'm feeling a little alarmed. I'm feeling like something is about to happen.
Okay.
A little uneasy.
Oryx, is this some sort of spell?
I don't know.
Check it. What with you and your sandwich, this could be the same thing.
Ring still not tingling?
No, your ring's not tingling.
Oh, man.
Stay away from the food, Pebble.
Oryx, roll a charisma saving throw.
Oh no. Sorry, that's Constitution.
Oh, well done.
Oh.
Our constitution.
Oh, what? Can we use the Constitution saving throw, please?
No.
No. You used up my good roll.
Okay, no, that's fine. And how are you feeling, Oryx?
I'm feeling really happy, and I really want to explore.
There's some whispering, a little flutter, and then you hear, "Ahoy!"
Is that Barry McGuigan?
Ahoy!
Hello.
Hello.
I'm going to start playing my lute.
Yeah, start playing music.
Okay, I'll start playing too. Do we roll performance checks?
Sure.
Come on, Nomo, this is... Come on. What is this? What's going on?
Nice.
I don't know.
Oh,
You're a wood elf.
maybe Oryx should be the rock star.
You're having an off day, maybe.
You're just getting warmed up.
I am feeling anxious.
Yes,
Like
and
you
just
Oryx
walk
is
up
feeling
and
very
say,
happy.
There's still a few leaves in your loot.
That's a good country song. There's leaves in the lute.
And I don't know what to do with them.
So yeah, as you start playing, some and then there's some coloured leaves start falling from the trees, almost like confetti.
Yeah, come on, Pat. Keep
No,
it
I'm
up.
kidding.
No!
I'm kidding.
Are they aging as they fall when they hit the ground?
They were already coloured before they fell.
We'll examine them closely, carefully, like not rush up to them or anything. Try and look at them closer.
I'll continue playing.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Music makers, what are you doing here?
We are adventurers, and we want to explore and have fun.
And your sandwiches look really good.
But we weren't sure if they were a trap.
The sandwiches are for you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. But you gotta be cautious, right?
Where are you?
I use my detect magic spell.
Okay.
Would I be able to detect anything?
There's a number of objects around you in the canopy above you that are magical.
Where does the sound seem to be coming from?
From the canopy above you. You can't quite make out exactly where.
Okay, I'll just look in the general direction and say, could you come out where we could see you?
Before we reveal ourselves, what is your purpose in the forest?
Whoa.
Where are we? We've just arrived here by some strange means. Where are we exactly?
You do not know?
No.
Oh, we
No, we come from a different dimension.
we came through a portal of some sort.
Ah, you came through the old green portal.
Yeah, probably.
Then, there is a place that you should go before you go anywhere else. Before you go into the Feywilds.
And where is that?
To the graveyard, where those that came before, who did not know where they were, finished their journey.
Did you kill them?
They did not understand.
Well, we'll do our best to understand.
We buried them as
Point us
best
in
we
the right
could.
direction.
And almost as if touched by invisible hands, a signpost appears just over here.
Do you know where our Black Friend has gone?
Well, he's not so much a friend as, somebody who follows us around, drinks our wine. You don't like Drow that much. But as far as Drow goes, I'll vouch for him. He's not that bad.
He was whisked away by spirits of the Unseelie Court.
Oh, is he in danger?
It depends on your friend.
No, he's in danger.
Then yes, he will be.
Well, maybe not if they have good wine.
Is he going in the direction that we want to go?
He is not in the direction you want to go. But if you are friends of the forest, then you should pay your respects and return here again.
Do we pay our respects at the graveyards?
You will indeed pay your respects at the graveyard.
Okay, well,
You
why
don't
don't
know
you...
any Lord Hayes, do you?
No. Does he like wine?
What?
No, not really. He's dead.
Then no. Never heard of him.
And what about some bird absorbing magic? Do you know her as well?
There's some whispering.
Oh.
What is this bird you speak of?
Oh, she's a lady. Excuse my common tongue.
A ladybird.
Like this one here, but not as good looking. I'll give Entei a wink.
She squints in the sunlight. They whisper again. What do you know of the Great Disturbance?
Oh, that's my stomach rumbling, I think.
The voice just coughs and says, We will discuss more, but we do not know of this ladybird you speak of.
Oh, very well then.
Can you lead us to the graveyard?
We have created a path for you.
We're new here. We could use some guides. We don't want to accidentally step on something important or go the wrong way.
Oh, you are always being watched.
Oh. Well, that's comforting.
There are glowing stones we've put along the route. Follow them.
Glowing stones that look like coins.
No.
No.
We did not drop any coins. Be careful, and do not veer off the path.
What do you think, everyone?
So you like watching, eh?
Easy call.
There's some sort of sludgy brown leaves that come down onto you, Pat, that aren't so pleasant.
Can I try to dodge it?
Sure.
Athletics? Acrobatics?
Acrobatics.
Oh, gosh, okay. I'll keep my mouth shut.
Okay. Yeah, the smell will wash off eventually.
Oh, very good then. Well, this is a happy place. What's this place called? Is this like Happy Glade or something?
Oh.
Feywilds.
What are the Feywilds?
Feywilds are of woodland creatures, such as ourselves. It is a beautiful place, where magic is very high.
Woohoo!
I do feel happy here.
We will call this the welcome glade for you. We will change the sign when you come back.
Lovely.
So we should come back here after the graveyard?
Once you pay your respect, yes.
What's involved in paying our respects?
That is part of the test.
Oh, boy.
Who should we look for when we get there?
Use your eyes and your ears and your nose.
Oh, I see. Okay, we're not going. All right, let's go.
Finn, are you happy to create the basics of a graveyard?
Okay.
Bye, my sprightly friends.
We're just dying to get in there. I'm sorry I had to say it.
No, you
Don't often get the chance to use that.
There you go.
Nice one, thank you. In this area, the trees do not stay around. There are a number of plants on the ground, like bits of root, but it doesn't appear that much growth otherwise.
There's a cat here.
There's always a cat in the graveyard.
Is it a black one?
It is.
Of course it is.
Oh, gosh.
So yep, that is a cat. You're in this graveyard then. So along the outside, there's a lot of trees. In the distance, you can still hear the sounds of the forest. It's slightly hushed, as in the
Well,
centre.
they said this was some sort of test, so
Are there any flowers nearby?
There are a number of flowers in the glades around you, in the forest surrounding the graveyard.
It feels sort of bad picking the flowers because wouldn't that direct nature? But I also wanted to put the flowers on the graves.
okay, yeah. Are you,
And
are
maybe
you
we
gonna
should
do that?
figure out what that shadowy creature is standing there.
It's a cat.
What? Oh, that's the cat? Oh, I thought that was a demon.
Demon cat.
Could be a demon cat, yeah.
It seems to be just
Awesome.
wandering around. Eventually, it perches itself on this grave over here.
I'm quite familiar with graveyards. Does this look like a normal graveyard? I wonder.
It looks like an imitation of a graveyard. It looks like a graveyard that was constructed.
No.
Can we read the epitaphs, or is there anything to see on the stone?
Yeah, in writing, beautifully aged with moss and lichen, you can see what was written.
Are there any sort of glyphs or runes or anything around the entrance, certainly, or...
Only spirals. There's one glyph which seems to recur. You spotted it once or twice along the route, and in the graveyard entrance and in the graves, occasionally in the graveyard area itself, there's this circular route, sort of circular glyph, almost like a
What
spiral.
if I recognise that?
Ooh, I'll make a check on that.
I'll do a religion check, shall I?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
No, it's a certain kind. I mean, even with that, you know that there are some religions where this style of glyph is more used. Religions like Alana, so druidic religions, use this glyph a lot more.
Oh, I see. Yeah, this isn't your average graveyard, I think. This is more earthy. No, Moses, is that writing on the tombstone there, is it all in Elvish, is it?
I don't know, is it?
Yeah, essentially. Although when you try to read it, Lich, you can read it. Somehow you can still understand it.
Oh, I see. Well, I do have Elvish as a second language, so I mean...
Oh, but maybe it's just that.
Yeah. What sort of things do they say?
This one says, naughty drow that tried to chop down a tree.
Oh, it's not fresh, is it?
No. Well, again, it's covered in lichen, it's covered in decay and growth, forest growth of the times.
Oh, right.
Maybe we shouldn't pick any flowers.
Yeah, good
I don't
idea.
think we should, no. Naughty drow indeed.
This one says, human mage who's spoiled for gold.
What's that mean?
Where's this going? What are the names on these tombstones?
Oh.
Many of them don't have names. You can look for names if you want to.
I'll look for one that bears a description of a cleric.
Can you read another tombstone, another one or two?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
So this one does say,
pathetic bard.
cleric who thought his god was the right god, above all else.
And there's 5 of them.
No, there's many.
This
All
sounds
right.
like a prison cemetery, a prison graveyard.
You realise that after a while that you're following these paths around and they seem to go in a sort of a labyrinthine route that takes you almost on a journey. But there are graves around the outside as well.
Are there any that are positive in nature, or are they all sort of punishment or negative focused?
They appear to be pretty negative. Again, this one here said, nasty gnome, responsible for killing 7 sprites.
He sort of deserves that.
Looking at the graves, is there any sort of recent activity here?
There's one near the middle that still has some sort of red stain, which is slowly seeping into the stonework, but it's still present. And it
I'll
says...
examine it closer.
Sure. Is that not natural? Is your investigation really low? Okay. It just says nasty she-elf, and the rest of it's mossed over too much, you can't read it.
Can we see beyond the graveyard? Is there a delineation, a fence?
No, there's a natural sort of flowery surrounding. As you look around the outside to the areas, you see some larger graves which appear to have some flowers growing on them. These appear to be outside of the labyrinthine path you're taking. The nasty she-elf was in the middle of the labyrinth. By the nasty she-elf, there's a narrow, if you imagine a pin with a very small base going up to the top, and there's water in the middle.
There's actually water in there, or it just looks like water belongs in there?
There's a little bit of water in there. There's like 2 inches of water. There could be a lot more. So it's a bit like a bird bath.
I'll yell out just to anyone who listens. We are here to pay respect to the forest.
You feel almost like a presence, or more of a pressure, is noticeable in the glade at that point. Birds stop.
The ground in front of the tombstones, is it undisturbed or is it sort of disturbed?
It looks like they've
there
been
anything-
placed in there. Occasionally you can see a bit of a trench. Again, you think this is the work of maybe the local residents as opposed to the comrades of the people who died.
I'm not anticipating anything coming out of the ground, am I?
You can roll an Arcana or Nature check if you want to
Okay.
relieve your suspicions.
Both of which are intelligence-based. Ooh, not bad.
Okay. The ground itself has a certain magical property. Nothing's impossible. You think it would need some sort of trigger.
I'll discreetly amble back towards over here. I'll certainly do a detect evil in the area.
Sure. No evils is detected.
Would I have any sense, being a worshipper, Elvis, yeah, and an
Really?
elvish goddess of forests, how to pay respects in a place like this?
Let's see. Give me a history check.
All right.
With advantage for you.
Okay.
You should know something.
Yeah, but I still didn't pay much attention
No.
to religion class.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
You think that by giving something of yourself or in helping the forest in some way.
Do you have any water?
I think we do. Didn't we have some sort of camel bracelet?
It takes in water. You have to fill it up first.
Is it full?
I'm assuming you filled it up. So, yes. This ring is full of water.
Are there any flowers around?
Or anything that looks like it's drying up a little bit?
Oh, good
Or
idea. Well
could you,
done.
could use some water?
You think naturally there is. Do a perception check, but automatically there are flowers on the outside you think could do with a bit as well.
I'll assist.
Okay. Looks
Thank-
lucky you
thanks for
assisted.
assisting. Yeah.
It's quite a difference. Yeah, you think that this central bird bath, in fact, is a funnel that has roots under the ground. And as you fill it up, the water again sinks down slowly until eventually it's again just a few inches left. The rest of the water vanishes underneath. And one by one, the graveyard stones start glowing different colours. So in the end, you're left with, in the dusk light, almost faint fairy lights glowing around you.
Wow. Pretty.
So, of the ones
Well
that
done,
seem to
Alex.
have descriptions of us on them, or things that seem like descriptions of us,
Right?
are we able to alter the text on the stone at all?
What, with a chisel?
Well, I'm just thinking, I'm going to try to touch the text and move it around.
No technology in D&D. It's not like an iPad. Huh?
It appears to be engraved in there fairly solidly. You think that, on reflection, these are possibly creatures that have already existed, and not yourselves.
All right.
I would like that maybe.
Oh yeah, possibly you would.
Well, maybe, or his riches could be buried with him. Ooh. Huh?
Oh, okay. great, that's a bad idea.
But you do see that the trail, which also seems to permeate around the labyrinth, there was a second trail going over here to where the cat is.
Oh, can I give the cat a bit of meat?
Meat?
Like, can we make a tuna sandwich?
Oh,
Tiddles. Hello.
And can we...
yeah, you can actually pull out a tuna sandwich from your sandwich maker.
All right.
And the cat purrs and nuzzles itself against you, Nomo, and then it hops off the grave in front of it. It seems contented, much more interested now in the food you've given it. In front of you...
the grave it was on?
Sure. So you can see on this one and the graves around, it says Friend of the Fae. And there are a number of graves here. This one says Courageous Monk.
Hey.
Died
No,
died after 50 happy years.
Died after how many happy years?
50 happy years of forest living. Another one here.
You're immortal now. You know that you won't die until
But I'm-
50 years.
I think I'm 50 now.
Human fighter,
Uh-oh.
but Fae forever, says another one. The one in front of you says Drow, friend and music maker.
That's me.
And you can see engraved very much, the stone has a large picture of what appears to be a lute player. And this one has writing on it as well. It says underneath that epitaph, Crypt of the Bard Zillenar.
Zillenar.
And it has the words, Remember Me, underneath.
Have we paid our respects now then, do you think? We've watered the flowers. Are we supposed to give anything else? We fed the cat. Is there a dog to be let out as well?
You feel pretty content. It feels like it's done. Like the place has been appeased. One thing, can you make an insight check, Pat?
No one wants to help me, even with help. I still
yeah.
too late. I don't have much insight here.
Okay. Someone else can certainly have a look, but no, Pat, you're just nice one, Lice.
I have lots of insight.
Okay, Lice. This comes back to your graveyard knowledge.
Okay.
As you say, you've been to many a graveyard, both in your capacity as a cleric and a soldier. You understand the words of the dying or the dead, and those who grieve, and you think there's more to Remember Me than just writing it. Then you remember that this is the grave of a great bard.
So, do I feel the need to say a prayer, do you think?
It's up to you. You can do.
I'll kneel in the middle and start praying for all the lost souls, you know, certainly in Pelor's name. And am I able to sort of determine which... Well, no, I don't want to pray for this god. That's like bigamy.
I'll play some prayer music.
Yeah. Everyone gather around and pay our respects. You know, we'll head down, we'll have a minute of silence, and I'll pray to, well, certainly Pelor, to watch over these poor souls, etc., etc.
And I'll pray to Mieliki in whatever I remember from religion class.
Yeah, and between you, there's definitely this solemn feeling that comes out. If you can, two of you roll, I guess, a religion check and a performance check from you, Pat.
Oh, mine's not very good.
Mine's not.
Mine hasn't come up yet.
Pat's was the strongest. So as you start offering prayers, the prayers feel good to you. Pat, you start playing. It feels good. It doesn't feel quite appropriate for this bard, but you think that coupled with the prayers, it's a good thing to do.
Is there any graves that resemble me in any way?
Resemble you in Friend of the Fae? You look through the other graves. There's one which says Bird Friend, a winged friend of the sprites. And there's a picture which looks a lot like a raven.
Don't you have a raven amulet or something?
It's like a little raven doll sort of thingy. And I think I can store my familiar. If I have a raven familiar, I can store it in there. But right now I have a weasel.
There are others. I mean, there is one mage, but the comparisons to you seem a little far off. This is a much older mage. Was a healer, an apothecary type of mage. So very much more material, herbal, but certainly magical. Very respected.
I have more explosions and firebolts.
Yeah, this is a much more mature mage. Maybe a mage you can one day become, but this is a very different mage to you at the moment.
And I'm I'm 90, actually. I forgot how old I was.
90?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, so you're only going to live 50 more years in here.
It's not really us, I don't think. It's just some adventurers that resemble us. So we get the sense that we've paid our respects and can move on. We can go back to the glade, and I suppose they would imagine, or they would let us know that we didn't do it right.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
If they try to kill us, we'll just kill them.
So you can walk away. Certainly there's a good feeling upon paying your respects. The lights that appeared and the fondness of the friend of the Fae graves that you accompanied. And you all have a warm glow inside of you. And Pat, you wonder if Zillenar was as great as he appeared. Certainly you got a good feeling. And a lot of you may have got an association from the friend of the Faes. Stones are still glowing. The light is still the same in the air. It's still at dusk. And you come back to the welcome glade.
Yeah.
You can see the branches wavering a little bit. And you can even see one or two winged creatures. Very small, tiny humanoids flittering around in the light. You can see them as silhouettes almost. You return!
Yeah. We paid our respects as best we could.
So you understand.
Well, not entirely, but we feel good about what we've done. Maybe the understanding is that we must not destroy the native life of this realm.
All life is precious.
You are understanding. It has begun.
What has begun?
Your journey into the Feywilds. We will not stop you now. And again, 4 winged sprites appear to just fly down, and there's a white bundle where the food was before, and they fly off again.
Oh, lovely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
What are you looking for in the Feywilds?
Well, certainly our friend. He's wandered off.
Adventure, peace, gold.
We will help the Feywilds in whatever they want us to do.
Yeah, we're friends of the Feywild, so if
That is good. Then we,
Give us a task.
be done.
then we will tell you how to get around.
I'll start eating some of this food they give us.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yep, it's very fresh.
Yummy.
It reinforces that glow inside you. Again, more foliage that you didn't even know was there appears on the sign, and the signpost now has many more signposts coming off it. One says Queen Andress with a sign. The other one looks like Liliope. Another one says Titania. And another one says King Gornthal. And they're all pointing in different directions. And another one, almost hurriedly written, says Great Disturbance. And points in another direction.
Could we ask them if there are any major settlements that would be good for us to start off at?
If you seek shelter, there are places you can go. Many glades. If you want larger civilization, there are the courts, but you must behave in the courts, otherwise bad things happen.
Yes.
The courts
I think
belong
I
to
should-
kings and queens of the Feywild. But there is one other place, and another sign comes up, and it says the Twilight District. This belongs to an elven city in your kingdom. The elves there have a connection to the Feywilds. They can go to and from the realms.
So I'm trying to read these signs. There's the Queen.
Yes. Queen Andress. There's Liliope, or Liliope, or something, which is Queen Liliope. There's Queen Titania. And then there's King Gornthal. Then there's the Great Disturbance. And the last sign was written, the Twilight District.
The Twilight District.
Belongs to the elves.
Can you tell us about this great disturbance?
It comes to us as a whisper. A kingdom was gone, taken away from the Feywilds, and left only naught but nothing. Nothing but sand.
Oh.
Oh,
Was that where we came from, I wonder?
maybe.
Maybe it has something to do with Hayes.
Yeah. Ooh.
Well, I think we should go to the Twilight District.
Shouldn't we visit a queen first?
I'm not really good with royalty and loyalty and...
Where do you recommend we go, lovely creatures?
It depends what you want to do.
We want to go explore, like meet some people, go to shops,
Be helpful.
get gold.
Well, exploring, you go into the wood. to meet people, you can go to the Twilight District. You meet many people there. You might feel most comfortable there. But if you want to help the Fae, then talk to the kings and queens.
Oh. We're still on a mission, aren't we?
Yeah, I think we...
Lord Hayes.
That's right. I think we want the Twilight District, guys.
Yeah, well, maybe first we can go to the Twilight District, like, get all used to the Wilds and meet some people, and then we can go meet the king or queens.
No, man, do you still feel that you got, like, crystals inside you?
Twilight Zone is still in the Wilds.
Oryx, do you feel less evil or more evil?
I think that's for John to decide.
That's a kind of meditation that you'd have to do on yourself if you were looking at yourself. You can, if you can tell me how you tell if you feel less or more evil. I'll tell you.
I feel a lot less evil just being in such a peaceful place.
There you go.
Right.
But certainly you can do, I guess, an insight check.
I'll assist, if I'm allowed.
You'll be kind of sensing the aura if you're assisting. Ooh.
Yes, 22.
Ignoring Pat's tapping and probing of your body, I suppose, you feel the warmth. You do feel absolutely everything you said. That's how you feel. But you're also you are aware that although you feel much healthier than you normally would, there are still red crystals present inside of you.
We could probably find somebody to deal with that.
Yeah, like maybe a king or a queen.
Yeah.
If we think that they're kings and queens of this magical place, they'd be pretty powerful.
But our objective is still to get some slaves, is it not?
Well,
Screw Hayes.
yeah.
Well, you've changed your tune.
Well, I changed because back in the other place, we had nowhere to go. Hayes was most powerful. But now there's kings and queens against him.
Huh.
If we just be a bandwagon, take the winning side. And also this place is way nicer than our stuff back at the dungeon. I mean, at Hayes' lair.
Well, we might get back there, but it wouldn't hurt to talk to someone.
Have we stopped being Lord Hayes' bitches? We're free now. We can do what we want.
I don't think that's the case.
We still have the crystals inside of us.
But while we're here, maybe we're out of his direct supervision, maybe.
Yeah. Or we can have some fun.
Yeah, or try to get out of his nasty grip.
Everyone roll, except Pat, a Constitution save.
Save. He is watching.
Oh no!
Oh.
I just squirted.
Pebble will automatically feel it. Unte seems unaffected. You feel a gripping of your mind and your inner organs temporarily and say, I am watching you. Do not forget.
Oh crap, he is watching.
And then, just as the pain goes, makes your vision go white, the grip releases. And you start being able to see the glade again.
Well, that wasn't good, was it?
Pat, you are... This means nothing to you apart from everyone bent over double in pain. Unte also looks puzzled. Yeah, and Lice, absolutely, completely floored.
I'm gonna yell out, Hayes, why do you want us as your servants? You could get much better servants as somebody else. We don't want to be your servants. We want to be free. I'm sorry, Hayes. I really liked you at first, but doing all these adventures is very tiring, and I just want to settle down in the Feywilds.
There's a moment's
I
silence.
don't talk to him anymore. I can't handle him again.
Lice's body suddenly goes bright upright and looks at you all with white eyes and says, You must return the slaves to me. Do not forget the slaves. And then body collapses again.
Okay. So does that change your mind where we want to go? I could go anywhere now. I feel hopeless.
I think the Twilight District is the best place to lead us to slaves.
Sure. Okay, I'll go with Pat on that one.
Okay. I mean, Hayes can't be that bad.
Anywhere but here. Let's go. Oh, bloody hell.
And as you leave the glade, there's no farewell, there's no... it's quiet.
I suppose the sprites saw that. Well, off to the Twilight District.
So you follow the arrow.
Early horses.
You're a little exhausted, and also Nomo still somewhat exhausted from his trials in the hobgoblin dungeon.
Should we rest in this welcome glade before we go?
It's nearly night time, isn't it?
Lights appear to be the same. It's still dusk.
Oh.
We're all at pretty good hit points, I think.
Yes.
No, Oryx and I are both down quite a bit.
Oh, then maybe a rest would be warranted.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you sprites mind if we rest here tonight?
They don't say anything, but at the top of the signpost, more foliage just appears to disappear, and it says, "Rest," on top of the signpost, with no arrow.
So we'll
Let's do
rest,
it.
meditate, spend a hit dice.
Yeah, I'll just curl up,
Okay,
go to sleep.
no problem. So you take a short
Take
rest,
watch, though.
long rest.
We'll sleep.
Long
We'll
rest.
sleep the night, I suppose.
Okay.
Long
Yeah.
rest, yeah.
But let's do a rotating watch.
I ain't watching nothing. Except the inside of my eyelids. Wonder where's Hector's gone, though. Do we need to find him?
Suppose we should.
We'll do that in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay. You feel safe. It feels like a welcome glade should. Each of the people that rolled just now and experienced that pain, you can roll an insight check if you wish.
Insight check, okay. Oh, that's good.
Almost within your eyelids. It's a very short dream within a dream, really. Nomo and Oryx, you see temporarily during the night bony fingers drumming against the throne, and you can hear the voice saying, "You disturbed my reading. Do not do so again. You left many slaves in the encampment."
Yes, we'll bring them back. We've just okay, Hayes. We'll bring them.
I know you will.
Don't we already have the slaves, though?
No.
Those old people?
Yeah, they're there, but we haven't brought them back to him.
Wait, I'll ask Hayes if that's enough.
That is enough to be going on with. And you see like a moment of blackness, as if he blinked, and then he opens a book, a very old-looking book, and the vision fades. And that's just a dream within a dream. Seems.
We'll tell the others about our dream, and should we try to go back through the portal? I guess no. That's trouble because there are a bunch of hobgoblins waiting there for us. So
We've got that stone. Remember that Pat's got?
yeah.
Yes.
How about we explore the Feywilds a bit, and then we'll go back?
Okay, I'm easy.
So the next morning, there appears to be a new white bundle with some sort of breakfast for you.
Nice. Shout out, thank you.
There's also another sign on the signpost. It says "Your friend" on it, and it's under the one which is spelt Liliope or Liliope, Queen. So it appears that he's associated with that queen.
So
We should follow that one then.
Yeah, let's see if we can round up Hector. I wonder if Queen Liliope is queen of good wine or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go on. Let's go in that direction. I feel much better now. Oh,
You know these berries are very good.
I'll go on and I'll have some berries. Yeah.
You wander off in that direction. Okay.
Yes.
Are you going literally straight, or are you using the paths?
I think using the paths that are prepared.
Sure. Okay. So so you wander off into that direction, into the Feywilds. What was interesting is when you woke up, and also now, it appears to be the same twilight. It appears to be that dusk time of day. It doesn't seem to change.
How queer. Thanks, Brights. We're off to Lily Polly, wherever her name is, and find our friend.
some pink flowers come down from the canopy above you.
Ah, pretty.
And you go wander off in that direction. Further up, you're following the paths, but after a while they wind so much that it's difficult to keep track of exactly which direction is that direction. Any tactics?
Do our best.
Okay.
Guide yourself.
Yeah, can somebody assist with the survival check? Do a survival check?
Yeah, do it.
I will.
Yeah, so between you
I don't know my ass from my elbow.
still blinking groggily after the sleep. Number one, Pat, you dart between this path and another path. At one point, you're discussing which path to take, and you realise that if you fork to that one, you can veer in the right direction again. And it starts going uphill. And ahead of you, there's some sort of dog creature that seems to be sniffing, and then it seems to do its business on a tree, and then wander off. Then it sees you, and then starts runs towards you.
Good.
Do animal handling?
Who's doing it? Oh, yes.
Nice, yeah. Okay.
Who's that?
Perfect. Yep, then that exactly happens like that. And then the dog turns around as if it wants you to rub its behind, but then you see on its back it has a package of a number of long twigs. They're like they're finely made. And it barks again.
Long twigs.
Yep, long twigs. Like they're rolled in a very particular way.
Okay, so we'll take the twigs off, and they're rolled a specific way.
What, like a saddle?
Not like a saddle, very, very tightly rolled.
Ah, yeah, take them off.
Do they pull in any direction or anything? Or do they work like a divining rod, or?
You move them around like a wand or a divining rod, and you don't get the impression that they have any force or gravity attached to them.
So you can just put them in the air and they'll stay there?
No, like they're not pulling in any direction, is what I'm saying.
There's no force to them. That doesn't seem to make a difference.
Is there any inscription?
You bring it up to you to look closely, and if there's an inscription. It doesn't appear to be an inscription, but they do smell very sweet.
I'll bite one of them.
It's a bit bitter. Goodness me, it's strong. And you're wondering what strange taste they have if they like this.
Maybe we're just supposed to play fetch with it. Throw one of the sticks, see what happens.
I'll throw one of the sticks not too far away.
You throw it. The dog appears to shake its head. It then blinks and appears by the rolled up stick. And then blinks.
Blink dogs.
And then it blinks again, and it's next to you, holding the stick up to you.
Bloody hell.
Is my ring tingling as it blinks?
No, that...
It's tingling in a very minor way.
Where are we going, dog? Where are we going?
Lead the way. I'll say it in Elvish.
It puts the stick on the ground, and then I'm going to do two different things. I want you to do an insight check, and I'm going to do a persuasion check for the dog. Let's see how this goes. This is not what the dogs are meant to be good at, so I'm going to do disadvantage for the dog.
I'll assist with the insight, whoever's doing it.
You can all do an insight.
I think so.
Yay.
Oryx, give him a sandwich.
Okay, I'll give the dog the sandwich.
It's distracted and temporarily eats the sandwich, which appears to be some sort of chicken. It then goes back to its act. Let's see what you got. Okay, Pat, you're nonplussed. Oryx, no, you were thinking about the food. Yeah, Lice and Noma, you get the impression that as it's doing this, to everyone else, it's bowing its head, then sniffing the air after it smells a stick. But you get into the subtlety of what it's trying to do, and you think it's trying to suck on the end of the stick and then blow out afterwards.
Okay.
Whistle.
I'll try doing the same thing. I'll blow on it.
You blow on it and nothing happens apart from the scent drift a bit further. Again, this is probably about a 1.5 foot stick, which is very scented. It's rolled up very tightly.
Cigarettes.
Yeah.
Or do we have anything to smoke?
Oh, I bit one.
Well, I'm just wondering, like, we know orcs can pretty much produce flame to light it. Do you have some way of basically making a sign of flame without actually lighting it yet?
We've got a tinderbox.
Yeah.
Can I just draw fire on the ground and then do a plus symbol and then do a stick and then equals and then a question mark?
You can do. Give
Give
me a performance check with disadvantage because you're starting to hallucinate, Oryx.
Oh no. Wait, what type of check?
Performance, which you've been good at up till now.
Oh,
Okay. Disadvantage. So you start drawing the fire symbol, and then you jump back away from the fire symbol as if it was alive.
Oryx, you're right, mate.
I think I'm just gonna try it anyways. Can I like conjure a tiny flame like on my pinky?
Yeah.
I'll strike my tinderbox. Get a little flame going.
Okay. And yeah, you can light the sticks if that's what you're trying to do.
Yes.
I'll light the sticks and pin them out.
Okay. And so yes, there's this moment where you're all having a smoke, and the dog just seems to be nodding and as you're doing this. For the next 2 minutes, this is live roleplay of you guys smoking this.
Oh yeah, we'll keep smoking, and I'm assuming the panting noises will sort of go into words, and the dog will start talking.
I'm going to try and watch where the smoke goes and see if it's leading anywhere useful and maybe follow the smoke a little ways.
Yeah.
I'll lie down with the dog and rub its tummy.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, do that. I haven't had a rub like that in quite some time. Nomo, you start noticing that the smoke, almost like a musical stave, starts leading up the hill.
This way, guys. And Day.
Oryx, at this point, you're incapable of words because I think the stuff you ate is taking control. But you are desperate to follow that smoke.
I'll just sprint.
Follow him!
Feel the need to take your clothes off.
Follow the mage! And Unte runs after.
Yeah, I'll keep up with it.
Shall I go with him, dog?
Ruff! Yeah, I'll come with you. And maybe scratch behind my ear as well. Yeah.
Go on in.
Ah, yeah.
Get some of that.
Oh. And yeah, and you start following, and you've never been more sure in your life that you'll get to the Queen Calliope's court. And that's probably a good place to leave it.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice one,
So
guys.
we'll-
Well played.
That's brilliant.
Thank you. Yeah.